The 9th round of the FIM Motocross World Championship brings us to Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos on the outskirts of Madrid for the 3rd consecutive year. In MX2, Jago Hirz still holds a slender lead over Tom Vial at the top of the standings. However, the Frenchman won here in 2020 and will be confident that he can pull back some of that gap or even retake control of the red plate on a hard-packed surface that should suit his traditional strengths down to the ground. In a season that's already served up plenty of drama and talking points, let's find out what happens next at the MXGP of Spain.
To Spain. It's round 9 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We're live from the circuit of Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos, the 3rd consecutive year that we've been here. In MX2 last year, the victor was Maxime Renault. He went on to win the World Championship. The year before that, it was Tom Vial. He did the same. The championship could not be any closer between Jago Hirz and Tom Vial. 6 points separate the two rivals. And they're pretty much evenly matched on the stats as well. They've both had a worse result of 11th overall, the 11th for Vial in Lombardia, Trentino for Jago Hirz. But coming into this round, Tom Vial has 4 wins to his name. Jago Hirz has 3. They've been on the podium every round apart from those 1 rounds where they had those bogeys, if you like. 1,660 meters long, the racetrack here. A mixture of dirt, hard clay, soil. And it's very, very heavy in places when it's been ripped. But we've had action on the track all day long, so we're quickly getting down to that clay, hard-packed base. That's a view of the racetrack. We'll take a closer look at it in a moment. But slight undulations when you go down the start straight through the first 2 turns, so left and then right. Shallow valley through there, then you work your way back up onto the higher side, which is the start side area. But that gives you an overview of it. That's the Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos shopping mall over there. The grey roof, that's an indoor snow centre as well. So anyway, but let's take a look at our GoPro lap now, shall we? Sardinian MXGP winner Calvin Vallanderen takes us for a lap around the circuit here Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos on his Kevin Van Venrooy Yamaha. Sweeping first turn over the foxhole shot through 2 giant rollers. This was done yesterday just after their free practice session, so it was a little bit sticky in places, but it gives you an idea of the nature of the ground. These 3-4 ruts here will get deeper as the day goes on. The climb here is always a bit of a bottleneck through that turn 4. This is turn 5. Swinging left, falling away on the exit. We've got a new double up on the inside there. You can step up to here. But this double apex right, 6 and 7. Again, a lot of unpredictability with the bikes yesterday early on. Leaping back into the shallow valley up here, this will be a wall of noise, especially if the home riders have their say. Come out of this left turn, there was some excitement through there in the MX2 qualifying race yesterday. Over the Monster Energy triple jump. And then right towards the end of the straight, hard on the brakes, very tight turn, and there's some deep ruts through there as well. And not very easy to get in and out of them. There's a lot of holes and all that kind of thing. Through the waves, the bitchy waves, into this left turn. And then we head back uphill, in front of the spans on the right-hand side, the Cine double jump. Paddock over there to the right as well. More fans around here. Again, just climbing up ever so slightly. Small double, and then this single. Then this is the final turn on the racetrack before the finish line. So we head to the Monster Energy finish line jump just here. And as we come into land, more fans just there. You can step on and step off, double into the corner on the right-hand side. Then turn right, back down the start straight. At a slight angle into this left-hander. A 180 here, takes us down past pit lane. And then we have a quick right-left at the end of the straight. See how hard the ground is in certain places here. We get the other side of this little hip jump. We're into a series of waves, downhill. More noise on the right-hand side. The liquid molly step down here. And then we're hard on the brakes coming into land at this point. Again, a slight crest going in, or you can go around the outside. The final climb takes us uphill over the Monster Energy double. You'll see turn one ahead of you, but we approach it from the right-hand side. And that's a lap here into Xanadu Arroyo-Molinos. So that was a lap with Calvin Verlanderen a few moments ago. Lisa Leyland was down on the grid. She caught up with Stefan Rabini, and before that, Mikkel Harup.
So the grandstands here in Spain are filling out nicely ahead of the first MX2 race, and the atmosphere is really building. Let's chat to a couple of the guys, the first being Mikkel Harup. Mikkel, let's talk about the qualifying session yesterday. Not the best start, but you're outside the top 10. You worked your way up to P6. I mean, despite the result, you were looking really good out there.
Well, yeah, I felt good, and the lap times also showed. I think I was in lap times was top 3, so it was pretty decent. I felt good. But just a couple of things I have to change for today, especially the start and the first couple of laps, because I made it a little bit difficult for myself having to come from the back. But all in all, I enjoy the track, and I'm actually having fun out there, even though it's pretty warm. So I enjoy it, yeah.
So obviously, like you said, you did come from the back. With a track like this, I mean, how easy is it to pass out there?
I feel like they did a pretty good job with the track. It wasn't too hard to set up passes and stuff. Obviously, it's not easy because everybody's running a pretty good pace, but I feel like compared to some of the previous tracks we've had this year, it's better. Also setting up the passes. So, no, I enjoy the track, and I think it'll be a good couple of races now.
Have a good race. Thanks, Mikkel. Let's chat to Team Honda SR Motor Blues rider Stefan Rabini. Stefan, let's talk about the qualifying session yesterday. A bit of a costly mistake from your part, and you actually had a lot of work to do. What happened?
Well, I hit a real reel from somebody, so I had a small crash. And on this track, it's quite hard to pass, so it was very hard to come back. But I think today it will be another chance. You know, track is different, and I'm really looking forward for a result like Majora. You know, I think I like this track. It's a track like I used to ride. So.
And obviously, typically you're a hard pack rider. It's a hard pack track. In Majora, you got the podium. So, despite what happened yesterday, are you feeling good out there?
Yeah. Well. I think my lap times are not so bad, you know, like yesterday I did a good qualifying time practice. Also this morning I felt good on the bike. Track is getting harder and harder, so it will be tough also with the weather. It's pretty hot. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. Just need to take a good start and ready to battle it up in front.
Thanks for chatting to us. Thanks, Stefan. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MX2 Race 1.
Gracias, chavales, muchas gracias por lo que estáis haciendo, apoyando a todos nuestros pilotos. Hoy aquí están, aquí abajo. ¿Dónde venimos nosotros? Con esa gran salida, Guillem, ¿qué pasó ayer? Cuéntanos, ¿qué expectativas?
Fans making their way into the grandstands then here and around this into Xanadu Arroyo-Molinos racetrack here in Spain. That's the view from above. Here's how the championship looks coming into this 9th round. Iago Geerts and Tom Vial separated by 6 points. Vial has 4 Grand Prix wins this year. Geerts has 3. And then we have Langenfelder, Harup and Horgmo.
Cuarto la Kawasaki de Kevin Ormo y quinto será el francés Thibaut Belistan. Bueno, pues estamos pendientes de esta prueba que serán 30 minutos y 2 vueltas.
So a warm day here, a hot day even. And up there in the skybox, one friend for the one of the friends of Jeffrey Hurling's up there on the right. Here's what happened in the MX2 qualifying race on Saturday. Thibaut Belistan got off to a good start, so too did Tom Vial. Vial got to the inside. Guerda got around the outside of Langenfelder. Beniston up the inside, and 3:09 there of Guillaume Ferrez on the Rats Motorsport Honda. I guess he's standing in for Jeremy Sido. Goes around the outside, picks himself up into third with a pass on Langenfelder. He then went after Beniston and passed him as well through the next turn. Got himself in a second, but it was short-lived for the home rider because a couple of corners later, watch this, out to the outside. He catches a bank now. We don't see it from there because that was Beniston going back by him, but we did have another, there we go, there's the angle. Down the track, on his back, flat landed himself, he picked himself up, got back to 19th before dropping down to 21st, but meanwhile, Kevin Horgmo found his way by the 261 of Jorgen Matthias Talviku as he was occupying that 6th place. Vial led the way though. Iago here, just having 1 or 2 moments, was already in 2nd place. Beniston in 3rd, came under attack from Langenfelder, who found his way by the Frenchman on lap 4. That's where those two would remain, for a while at least. Liam Everts also had a spirited charge from 14th, and he was carving his way through the field quite majestically. He found his way past Guerdas to move into 6th place, as Horgmo got the better of Beniston. Moved into 4th, just around the halfway stage, just before the after the halfway stage. Hart was closing in as well, but Hart would eventually come home in 6th place. Couldn't find his way past Horgmo or Beniston in the latter stages of the race. And it was Tom Vial who took his 2nd pole position, his 2nd qualifying race win of the season, from Iago Kiert and Simon Langenfelder. So here's how the riders line up then ahead of MX2 Race 1, a 30-minute plus 2 lap race, the first of 2 races here in Spain. See the riders just making their way to the gate, starting over there on the right-hand side. Tom Vial lines up on pole position for the 2nd time this year. It's only his 5th career pole, despite having already won a World Championship. Iago Kiert lines up alongside him, and then Simon Langenfelder, Kevin Horgmo, Thibaut Beniston, Mikkel Hart, Liam Everts, and Andrea Adamo. Isaac Gifting, Mike Guerda, they'll go to the line 9th and 10th, and then Kevin Brumman had a good ride yesterday. Jan Panzer, Stefan Rabini, Iago Martinez, David Braceras, Kai Karsmakers, Andrea Bonacorsi, and then the rest: Jorgen Matthias Talviku, Peter Pollock, Jakob Terasak, Guillaume Ferrez, Tom Guillaume, Eric Thomas, and Rick Elzinger. Tom Vial on pole for the 2nd time this season, just his 5th career pole in MX2. He has a 6-point deficit to make up to Iago Kiert. Simon Langenfelder been on the podium just once this year at the opening round, Matchley Basin. He would love to get back on the podium just there behind the riders this weekend in Spain, if he can. And Iago Kiert, watch on his Yamaha factory rider. Seems like there's a bit of a void between the top 2 in the championship and the rest. So the gap between the first 2, we saw it yesterday in qualifying as well as Sardinia. Hopefully riders like Kevin Horgmo and the rest can offer a challenge today. The atmosphere really starting to build though. Mikkel Hart, see how muddy it was on the sighting lap. The Big Van World MTX Kawasaki rider took his position behind the gate in 6th, having come from, well, he dropped to 12th on lap 2 and then worked his way back, so decent recovery for the Dane. Andrea Adamo, the SM Action Racing Team USA Battery Gas rider, 8th in qualifying behind Liam Everts. A lot of water has gone down to try and combat the hot conditions here. 30-odd degrees, 33 yesterday, similar today. Isaac Gifting, Hitachi KTM, fueled by Milwaukee. Qualified in 9th position. Another rider hoping, like all of them, for a good start. Who will it be, though, that grabs that all-important foxhole shot as the Fly Racing 15-second board goes up for the first time here in Spain? ...30 minutes plus 2 laps. Vial over on the inside gate. Iago Kiert alongside him and Horgmo. They all keep it nice and straight, bar to bar, and Kiert gets the advantage. But does he run too far wide? He manages to pull it back, but there's somebody around the outside, and it's Rick Elzinga with the foxhole shot for Hutamatao Yamaha, riding as a wild card this weekend. Look at the water in between all the holes. It's going to be treacherous out there, but Geertz gets to the front early. Absolutely drowned the racetrack here. You would have thought we've just been caught in a monsoon, but we haven't. Leading uphill for the first time, Geertz leads Cuerda. And Elzinga alongside him. All bump and grinding going on between the main riders through those first few turns. Oh, Horgmo just a little bit out of shape as he came into land over that triple. But it's Geertz who leads. Elzinga is up to second there, number 44. Third now, Vial. So Vial making light work of riders around him. Then we've got Cuerda in the yellow helmet in fourth. Langenfelder and Horgmo around the outside in blue. Then Gifting is in there as well. And David Braceras just made a mistake as he ran wide on the number 98. That is going to be a slick downside there. You need to be perfectly straight. It's going to be a nightmare for the riders for the first 10-15 minutes of this race as Vial puts the squeeze on Elzinga, taking no prisoners there whatsoever. You see how slick it is on the downside there. Then they hit some traction here, some heavy soil. So here's Vial, Elzinga, Cuerda, Horgmo, Langenfelder as they drop down there into the pit lane turn. Then we've got Gifting, Rubini, Braceras and Adamo in 10th, Martinez 11th, Guyon 12th, Harup, Talviku, Pollock, Panzer, Bonacorsi, Ferez, Beniston in 19th and Brumman in 20th place, Everts in 23rd. Vial. Oh, Geertz. I was looking at the pictures there thinking, where has Jago Geertz gone? And we've got absolute carnage here as well. Ferez, Guyon and Jan Panzer. And Geertz looks hurt. That is going to be a devastating blow to his title chase. He had 6 points in hand. Vial now leads. And I was talking to Hans Corvers before, during, just after the MXGP free practice this morning. And he was saying, it's going to be tough from here on out. You can't afford to lose points because there's really only two riders in it without disrespecting everybody else. You know, sort of what we've seen in the last couple of rounds, how far Vial and Geertz are ahead of everybody else in terms of where they're finishing 30 seconds clear at the end of the race. And Jago Geertz was leading the way. I'm not sure where, if we have it, but I'm told we don't. So the race leader goes out. But Vial leads. I bet he couldn't believe it. So we have Jago Geertz crash from our drone cam. Left side apparently. Right. Coming into land. Oh, he's already off the side of the track there, look. So I'm guessing a lot of water on a hard, slick surface has not done Geertz any favours whatsoever. So the Liqui-Moly bridge there, catching him out. But the amount of water we've seen on the track, on a hard, slick surface, I know it's hot, but on the face of a takeoff, really. And the downsides. So Vial leads, 1.9 seconds clear of Elzinga. See, like the wet dirt there, and then onto a hard face. You can understand the reason why. If the back end or the front end just got out of shape, you're a passenger at that point, and that's exactly what happened to Geertz, I think. Judging from the overhead cam. He's back up and running. It's going to be a lonely ride from there. He's in 21st place at the moment, but lucky to even be able to rejoin the race, judging from the way that his bike cartwheeled down the track. Hopefully no lasting damage either, but it was this part of the race, well, that part of the racetrack anyway, that caught him out. Vial starting to pull clear as Horgmo going after Elzinga, who takes the Norwegian to the outside. The Kawasaki then cuts back to the inside. He's going to have to go the long way round here. Rubini is up past Gifting, by the way, in 5th. Rick Elzinga hanging on to that second place at the moment. But Kevin Horgmo trying his best to find his way through. Looking for dirt around the outside, Horgmo. But to no avail. He doesn't get the double, Horgmo does. But can Elzinga hold a tight line through the inside? Yes, he can, but Horgmo has the drive. Well, his wheel spinning left, right and centre. He does go through. Horgmo now second. Elzinga third. Fourth is Rubini. He just found his way past Isaac Gifting a moment ago. And the Frenchman on fire here. And Tom Guyon, a retiree, just there in the background. So obviously still having lasting effects from having to miss Sardinia. Here's Rubini. He's in fourth place there. So the Frenchman, number 38, the team shipped to cycle Honda SR Motor Blues rider, getting himself inside the top 5. Here's Langenfelder, the Red Bull Gas rider, going after Gifting. These two fighting over 5th now. Thing is, now that the track has been watered heavily, there's going to be one sufficient line. Riders are going to be mostly using it. So it's going to dry out, and then anything after that is still going to be very, very slippery for the riders. So they won't want to take the risk, not for that 20 minutes or so. Gifting holding on to that 5th place at the moment, despite Langenfelder having a look at the inside a moment ago, and Langenfelder coming back for more. Just has to bide his time, because the clay base with that fresh water on it and that wet dirt that's being dragged onto the hard, shiny, dry surface is really not a good mix. Here's Geertz, still in 21st place. Lap times 2:02.9. Fial a 2:06. Everyone else in the 1s or the 2s, so not a bad pace, but there's riders ahead of him in the 2:07s, 2:08s. So he should be able to pull back some seriously good points. But that is a crash he could have well done without. Eric Thomas, the first rider then that Jago Geertz will find himself up against. He is in the 20th position, the 1 point place. But Geertz easily passed, as you would expect. So he's on the points board. Anyway, we're going down to pit lane. Lisa Leyland is down there with Jeremy Fontaine from Monster Energy Yamaha. Let's hear what they have to say.
Jeremy, unfortunately, we saw Jago Geertz go down at the start. Hopefully he's okay. What's his feedback on the track? How's he feeling out there? And do you think he's going to be able to recover from this?
Yeah, I hope after the old shot was good. But you know, he makes a little bit water on the track, so I think he makes some mistake. We hope can he go take some points, but yeah, we have confidence and he takes some points to be finish the race and to be okay for the second moto.
Thanks, Jeremy. Good luck.
Yeah, the step down just to his left there was where he crashed at the start of the race. He was leading, but very, very lucky to pick himself up. It'll be a long 21 minutes plus 2 laps for the guys down there in pit lane. Jago Geertz will be hoping that there was a throwback to the 45-minute motos way before his time, just to give him every chance to score as many points as possible. But Tom Vial, 5 seconds clear at the moment on the Red Bull KTM, and in cruise mode already. He took the lead on lap 2, and already in that time he's amassed 5 seconds over Rick Elzinga. Here's Thibaut Beneston trying to defend from Adamo. Adamo comes up short, but chucks it in anyway. Is he able to find his way past the Frenchman? Well, Beneston, judging by that, looks like he's got big elbows, and Adamo almost missed time. He tried to get back across, almost hit the rear wheel, and almost went down. Beneston still hanging on to 6th place. Right, Darmo will try to cut back off the outside there. Just not able to. Beniston used all the corner and a little bit more. Braceras, what a great ride for David Braceras. They're in 8th place at the moment. Normally rides in the MX2 50, and he's circulating in 8th place in MX2. Here's Adamo, the SM Action Racing Team USA battery gas rider over the double, rejoining at turn 1. He's lost a little bit of ground to Beniston in the last few corners though. 19 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Fans are very quiet over there. David Braceras, the lead Spaniard at the moment in this race. Then we've got Iago Martinez and Ferrez either side of the points at the moment. But Stefan Rubini now 4th and closing in on Rick Elzinga. So the Hutametal Yamaha in blue doing his best to keep the ship to cycle. Honda SR Motor Blues rider behind him, who was on the podium in Majora really a few weeks ago, wasn't he? 2 rounds ago. Liam Evans going after David Braceras. The number 72 then on the Diga Procross KTM. Goes around the outside, picks him off a tree, moves into 8th place, does the number 72. So Evans, 16th in the championship, got a 4th in race 1 at Majora, got an 8th second race in Sardinia a couple of rounds ago. So gradually building back into this MX2 career despite missing the first, 4 rounds of the season after qualifying crash first turn, round 1, Matchley Basin, that left him with a broken hand. And for someone like Everts, you know, this racetrack probably perfect just because of the fact that he's so technical, good throttle control, not aggressive on the bike, you know, where it's more smooth. And Rubini has gone through on Elzinga. So Rubini now up into 3rd. And Elzinga under attack from Langenfelder. So Stefan Rubini, sometime between the finish line and now, has found his way past Rick Elzinga. He's moved himself into 3rd place. Under the blue skies and saturated circuit here in Spain. Right, let's go out to space. Here's how Rubini found his way past. Yeah, Elzinga, he thought he was going to cut back. Rubini then up into 3rd with that move on the Dutchman. Rick Elzinga nears the end of lap 7. Under attack from Simon Langenfelder. He takes a look over his right shoulder, sees the German there who switches to the left into turn 1. Again, Elzinga holding a tight line as he goes back past pit lane. But Rubini, another fantastic ride for the Frenchman, hanging on to 3rd. Langenfelder trying to find a way past Elzinga down the wave section. Came in a little bit front end heavy there though. Has to commit, and that's exactly what he's done, and he does go around the outside. He'll have the commanding line into the next turn as well. 4th place now for Langenfelder. Langenfelder now sets his sights on Rubini just ahead of him. So Stefan Rubini just out of sight. Here is Jago Geerts. He's moved himself up to 13th place at the moment. He's behind Jürgen Matthias Talviku, who takes a look over, sees the red plate, probably thinks, oh, am I being lapped already? And I think he just let him by in the end. So Geerts now takes 12th place. He's got a bit of a gap though. 12 seconds back to Hara. Hara will be on a similar lap time. Will he 2:03? Geert's on a 2:02. Might take a while to claw that gap back. But this is all about damage limitation for Geert, who just snagged his left leg through that deep rut. Watch this here. Just the foot came off the peg. Almost wrapped itself around the back of the bike. And let off for the Belgian. Got to keep his head down. Meanwhile, Vial continues to lead. He's almost 17 seconds clear of Kevin Horgmo, who's been down. So Rubini now second, and Langenfelder third. Elzinger fourth, Horgmo is fifth. And I think we're going to have to go back to the moon cam to see if we've got that one as well. So Kevin Horgmo parks there in second place. Would have been the second time that he'd finished in second place. Remember, he got a second in race one in Latvia. And anyway, we're going back up to planet Mars. Here's the moon cam shot. Here's Horgmo losing second position. We'll wait for Tom Vial to land. Right, here's Horgmo. Here's what happened to him a moment ago. So just top of your screen. Lost the front there, look. Tipped over. And that is a lot of time to waste, because there's Elzinger, and Elzinger has now passed him. So an expensive mistake for Kevin Horgmo. Second to fifth. So he's now got to do the work and try and find his way back past Rick Elzinger. So Stefan Rubini now in second place. Got a second in race one in Maggiore, his best ever finish, remember. His sixth in race two, got him on the podium. Horgmo, again, exactly the same move as he did at the start of the race when he went round the outside of Elzinger, finds himself passing him in exactly the same place. He doubles in, Elzinger didn't. Horgmo now back into fourth. "12 minutes plus 2 laps to go." So Horgmo back into fourth in a moment as we follow that battle there between Rubini and Langenfelder in second. We're going to go take a quick trip down to pit lane. Lisa's waiting to speak to Natalie Farze, the team manager from F&H Kawasaki, who Horgmo rides for, of course. An expensive mistake for him, going from second to fifth. He's now back in fourth. He could still advance further, but so far, Tom Vial not putting a foot wrong, doesn't need to. He's in cruise control. 16.5 seconds. This is second here. Rubini. Oh, Langenfelder has found his way through. So Langenfelder now second. Rubini third.
La temperatura que nos está respetando hoy, pero que sin embargo en la línea el compañero de Prado, Simon Langenfelder, se supera.
So Langenfelder on the Red Bull Gas, pulling clear of Stefan Rubini since finding a way past. Don't worry, I've put in a call to outer space to see if we have this pass as well. They're working on it apparently, but Vial just in cruise mode. Langenfelder, the best of the rest at the moment. Right, let's go back to the drone, shall we? So coming into the penultimate corner on the racetrack, Rubini went to the inside. Did he get bogged down in the rut? Well, not really. Langenfelder just found a line that enabled him to carry more speed, and that was it. Third to second for the German. Right, let's go down to pit lane. Natalie there waiting to speak to Lisa.
Natalie, not so long ago, we saw Kevin Horgmo lose the front end, out a second. I mean, he looked really solid out there. He looked really at home. He went to 5th, now he's working his way up slowly. Is he going to be able to recover from this, and is he strong enough at this track?
At the moment, he's quite fit and he feels very comfortable on the bike, and also on the track. It's the first time ever he's here in Spain, but he looks so comfortable. He just lost the front, but we said reset and go again, and that's what he's doing at the moment. So,
what do you think it is about this track which suits him so much? Because like you said, he did look comfortable out there at first.
Yes, he really looked comfortable. I think he just made a small mistake, and he have everything at the moment to go back up front, so that's what he needs to do.
Thank you.
Simon Langenfelder, with that pass on Rubini, he's since put in the fastest lap of the race, 1:59.2 compared to the 2:01.3 of Vial. The gap now 15 seconds. Are we going to see a late charge from the Red Bull Gas rider? Conditions obviously suiting him down to the ground. Kevin Horgmo circulating in 4th. He's only 6 seconds behind Rubini, so he can still find his way back into the top 3, depending on the lap times. Well, 2:01.8 and a 2:02.1 for Horgmo, Rubini, respectively. So it's possible. Langenfelder looking good, though, looking smooth. The German should be quite at home with these wet, muddy conditions. Although it does spend a bit of time in Italy these days, so unless they, well, actually, yeah, they artificially water their training ground there as well, don't they, at Malagrotta? So it should be right up his street. Yeah, Jago Kiet just went by there, saw the red plate. Yes, he is. So latching onto the back of Braceras, I think. Yeah, 98. So now Jago Kiet's up into 12th. Could be 11th before the end of the lap. Points the gap between Vial and Kietz now in the championship. Vial, of course, taking over the first position. I guess the good news is we'll get a perfect track pretty much for MXGP race 1, which I guess that's what the fans want to see. Anyway, Everts and Adamo. Everts has found his way into 7th. So moves past the Italian. Climbing up the leaderboard then, it's Liam Everts here. Riders ahead of him, Elzinger and Beniston, and not that far away either. He'll look up and he'll see them just flying through the air over the next jump. Tom Vial has responded ever so slightly. The gap 15.3. But Langenfelder still quicker in 2nd position. Six and 3/4 minutes to go. Who are we waiting for here? Jago Kietz in the opposite direction has found his way past Braceras. Moves up into 11th place then. A long race for the red plate holder. Tiptoeing his way round that turn 5. Where is the next man on his hit list? Bonacorsi, 6.5 seconds further up the field. An EMX 250 wildcard rider this weekend, the Italian. Meanwhile, his teammate Rick Elzinger under attack from Thibaut Beniston. Beniston goes through into 5th place. Some riders will cope with the heat better than others. There's Everts all over the back of Elzinger all of a sudden as well. So he's done a fantastic job bridging the gap back to these riders ahead of him, including Beniston. So Everts just dancing around up on the pegs, nice and smooth. Staying out of trouble at the moment. Doubles his way out of that final wave section. Came in, he had a bit of a weird angle there, but whatever happened, he's made the pass stick in that turn. Everts now up in the 6th place. Very Stefan-esque up on the pegs. Very smooth, very relaxed. uncanny, really. Looking for the smart lines. So 4.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Tom Vial continues to lead, managing to stretch a gap over Langenfelder again. More than 16 seconds as it stands right now. 13 laps complete for Vial, who has so far been unchallenged in race 1. Keep an eye on lap times further down the field. Andrea Bonacorsi last time was a 2:04.8, 2:02.4 for Geerts. Adamo around the outside of Elzinga. The Dutchman went to the inside, and he's still not getting over that double jump and just costing him time. Adamo blasting by and not looking back. He moves into 7th now. Couple of pulls of the tear-offs for the Italian, and another one. Rick Elzinga definitely fading off the radar here. The Hudson Metal Yamaha rider. Lap time, last time around 2:08.9. Beniston 1:59, his best lap of the race, but you got Vial in the 59s, Langenfelder 2-minute 1 for Rabini, and Horgmo 02s for Evertson, Adamo 08 for Elzinga, and then 4s and 2s behind him. So the heat obviously catching Elzinga out today in this first race. So Geerts 3 seconds adrift of Bonacorsi. The other side of the jump, look. That's the Langenfelder line. Nice and quick in and out, but then you hit those horrible holes on the way out. Bonacorsi is getting closer to him, though. You can just see him just at the bottom of the hill through that right-hander. Not as deep, that second rut. But another point swing at the top of the championship. Between Vial and Geerts. Geerts arrived here 6 points clear of Vial. Vial now taking over the top spot at the moment. 3:57. Geerts on 3:48. And here is Vial. What the time was when he went and hit the line a moment ago. Are we 3 laps to go or just about 4? Because 2:01 lap times last time around. Obviously where you rejoin at turn 1, have already been over the finish, back down the start straight. He might just sneak around again. Maybe it might be 1 or 2 seconds in it. And that might play into the favour, into the hands of his rival. And that's nice there, doubling up, and that momentum. So I think that is a quicker line there. A lot of riders obviously choosing not to do it. And no risk jumping the triple either. It was a massive stretch yesterday in the practice and the time practice sessions. So many riders barely getting over it and casing it hard as well. Meanwhile, again, losing his legging off that left peg. Jago Geerts, as he goes after Andrea Bonacorsi. Wasn't efficient through the turn as he could have been. But 30 seconds on the clock. Where is Vial? He's in sector 4 at the moment. Is he going to go through with time to spare? Need to keep an eye on that. Because these guys the other side of the track, and he's just gone through with 20 seconds to spare. So here is Vial, 3 laps to go now. Bonacorsi getting caught by Jago Geerts. Harp, I think, will hang on to 9th place. Geerts could break top 10 though. When Vial saw Kietz crashed there on the opening lap. He knew that he would be in a good place to sort of take those points back. Here's Langenfelder, currently in second place. And for Langenfelder, it'll be the first time in second position since race 2 in Maggiora, where he finished second. He was third in, sorry, it wasn't Maggiora, was it? It was Lombardia, where he was second. So Langenfelder, second in race 2, Maggiora, we'll leave it there, shall we? In Lombardia. And then he was third in one of the races in Maggiora. So it's been a while since he's occupied the second place as Langenfelder. Like I say, these kind of conditions may be suiting him, but a wet, sticky circuit is one thing. Hot conditions is another one. Just need to maintain your cool and your focus the whole time. Here is Rubini. He's still in third position. He's only just shy, 4 seconds shy of Langenfelder at the moment. But another top 3 for what is essentially a privateer team. Josh Selfront and everybody down there at Ship to Cycle, Honda SR Moto Blues. I spoke to him in Trentino, the team manager, team owner, and he said that, you know, they're confident because the CRF 250, the 2022 version, already a very good package from the start. And so to work on it is easier to, you know, bring it up to this kind of standard. And they had confidence in their engine builders, their tuners, and all the rest of it. And it's starting to pay dividends again here today. But Tom Vial, about a week in front at the moment, with 2 to go. Up out of the seat there, just to get the rear wheel and the shock over those holes. Bonacorsi doing a fantastic job of keeping Jago Kietz at bay. Been there about 3 laps now, has the Belgian. But Kietz getting closer. Harup is now up to 8, Elzinger down to 9, so there may be, if he can find his way past Andrea Bonacorsi, Jago Kietz, there may be even Rick Elzinger there. Elzinger just out of sight. So he could take 2 more positions, which would be 2 more points in the championship chase in the next 2 laps. Bonacorsi not making it easy for him, though. Done all the hard work, but the higher up the field you get into the top 10, the more difficult it becomes. Riders at similar speeds. Looks to go round the outside here. He may succeed as well. No, Bonacorsi denies him on the exit. But Elzinger definitely fading fast. Bonacorsi goes through, and so too does Kietz. So Bonacorsi now 9th, Kietz in 10th. 1 lap to go for Tom Vial. Here's Langenfelder making his way towards the 1 lap board. Been a solid ride for the German. Hasn't rushed. It's been cool, calm and calculated. Oh, Borgmo looked like his back end just stepped out of line there a little bit on the run towards the finish line. He's in 4th position at the moment. Probably be kicking himself as well after the mistake that he made. There's Mike Guerda. Guerda in the points in 19th position for WZ Racing. Beniston, Jago Kietz still pushing frantically to find his way past Bonacorsi. Gets alongside him here on the finish line. Bonacorsi looks across and probably just thinking, well, I've got no team orders. A, we're on different teams. Yes, we're on the same brand, but still got to make your way past me. Bonacorsi there to impress, of course. Will more likely be in MX2 next year. Don't forget, there's an EMX 250 rider this year. but just a handful of corners to go. Tom Vial on course for picking up another 25 points. Six wins so far during the campaign. Tom Vial. Oh, and Hara off the side of the track. That's turn 2. So how much time will that cost Hara? Are we going to get more points and more drama here in the final stages? Tom Vial will cross the line, oblivious as to what's going on. And Jago Kietz has found his way past Hara, who made that mistake, and he moves into 9th place. So a dramatic finale then. Is there going to be another point for the Belgian if he finds his way past Bonacorsi? Langenfelder takes the line in 2nd. And Ruvini, he's absolutely pumped with that look as he comes over the line in 3rd. Bonacorsi looks like he may still hang on. There will be one last charge around the outside, inside if he can for Jago Kietz, but the Italian will maintain his position ahead of Jago Kietz, but with a mistake from Hara, Bonacorsi and Kietz will cross the line, 8th and 9th. Hara will be 10th. And you just wonder whether the Yamaha bosses down there will be saying, look, should we have yielded and given points back? But who knows? Let's go down to Lisa. She's with Tom Vial, the race winner.
Tom Vial, quite a lonely race for you. You made a tough race look very easy. How was it for you?
It was really difficult. Track was so much water on the track. We don't see so often this, so I really hope Jago is okay because he has a massive crash in the beginning of the race and I was just behind. I just controlled the race. Simon was 15 seconds away from me, so just control and ready for the second one.
Good luck for the second race. Thanks, Tom.
Tom Vial with his 7th race win of the season, his 34th career race win in MX2. And nice for him to pay some kind of respect to Jago Kietz there, because he said it was a massive crash, and he hinted the fact it was because of the water that had gone down on the track, and probably in the wrong places, to be fair. But Tom Vial, Red Bull KTM, wins race 1 by 14 seconds over Simon Langenfelder. Job done, guys. Give you the official confirmation then as we have it. Tom Vial wins it from Simon Langenfelder, Stefan Rubini 3rd, Kevin Horgmo, Thibaut Beniston, Liam Everts, fantastic ride in 6th, ahead of Andrea Adamo and Andrea Bonacorsi. Jago Kietz 9, Mikkel Hart 10, Isaac Gifting 11, then Jan Panzer, Rick Elzinger, Kai Karsmakers, David Braceras, Peter Pollock, Jorgen Matthias Talviku was next in 17th place, and then we had Jakob Terazak, Mike Guerda and Eric Thomas. Hot day here in Spain as they get themselves comfortable. There is a nice breeze up there though. Old flagman there. It's been a nice atmosphere here all weekend actually. Liquid refreshment, anyone? Right, before we go anywhere, let's take a quick look at the highlights of the race, shall we? Here's what happened in MX2 race 1 just a few moments ago. MX2 race 1, Tom Vial up the inside, but it was Rick Elzinger who surged around the outside here, closest to us, kept it pinned around the outside, grabbed his first foxhole shot in MX2. He was closely followed by Jago Kietz, Tom Vial, Mike Guerda, David Braceras, who almost fell, and the 24 of Kevin Horgmo. A little bit of banging in bars through the first few corners as Kietz quickly got to the front on what was an absolutely flooded racetrack here. Probably needlessly so, but as he led, Elzinger was there in 2nd, Guerda 3rd, Vial 4th, Horgmo 5th, and then Langenfelder and Gifting. Start of the second lap though. It was just around a corner. Vial charged his way down the inside of Elzinger. He wanted to keep Geertz in his sight, but 2 corners later, and down that jump of the racetrack there, Geertz upside down on a freshly watered track. It was a long while before he got going as well. Elzinga then started to come under attack. Kevin Horgmo went by for second because Vial was the new leader. Then Rubini went through. That was for third place. And then Langenfelder made the move on Elzinga to go fourth. Second half of the race, Elzinga just started to fade. His lap times were dropping about 6 or 7 seconds from the top guys. And then Horgmo, top of your screen, fell from second. He picked himself up in fifth, but would eventually get back to fourth with this pass again on Elzinga late on in the race. Langenfelder got himself around the outside of Rubini to take second. And then Elzinga lost a couple more places. This one to Thibaut Beneston. That was for fifth. And then Everts also surged by to move into 6th place with just a couple of laps to go. Andrea Bonacorsi was being a tough customer as Harrop went off. He lost a couple positions. That was an extra point for Geertz. But it was a win for Vial, Langenfelder second, Rubini, Horgmo and Beneston, your top 5. That was MX2 Race 1, folks. So right at the start of the race, we had the Fox hole shot. And as we saw from the highlights there, Rick Elzinga full gas round the outside by half a bike length over Jago Geertz. First black plate for the Hutamatol Yamaha rider. Right, before we go anywhere, let's take a look at some of the best moments then from MX2 Race 1. And when we return, it'll be for MXGP Race 1. We'll see in a few moments.